Hello everyone, it's Cassie. Thank you for coming back for another video here on my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be playing with some of the new things from Simon Hurley Create. This is called Happy Fall. I love it. Look at those fun pumpkins. We got that cute little truck. We're also going to be using the Greenery stencil and our Lunar paste in the color Roar. I'm going to put that Lunar paste on some colored cardstock. I love doing that. It's so fun. That stuff just pops and it shimmers and it's great. So I have a piece of yellow cardstock that I've cut down to 4¼ by 5½ inches, the full front of an A2 size card. And instead of spreading this like butter, I am going to blend it by using not only my little mini ink blending tool, but also a sponge. And I'm just dipping that into the ink that is in the lid and then just blending that all over our stencil. Now, if I left my sponge just as is, that will get hard. But I am, when I'm done with it, going to clean it out with some water, and that way it'll last that much longer. So keep that in mind if you do use a sponge. And then I'll pull this away, and you can take a look at how pretty that looks on that background. And then I'll clean up my mess with just some water, and we'll move on to our stamping. I have just another piece of white cardstock. We're going to do the two-step stamping is what I like to call it. So you have your outline. I'm picking out those pumpkins that happen to have the outline and the solid image that goes with them. I love that all of the new release has some stamps like that, and I have just been so into that lately because there are so many great colors by Simon Hurley Create. You guys know I love them. They're just like my go-to inks. And so I'm just stamping in black the 3 pumpkins, and I'm going to stamp them a couple times. So I'm going to take my cardstock and flip it over and then just do the same thing, stamp those same 3 pumpkins on the bottom of this cardstock. Then we'll pull in our solid images. And easy to line up. We're just going to take all of those out. Right now we're just going to set them on there so I can pull the rest of these pieces away. And then we'll super easy just line those solid pumpkins on top of the pumpkins. And then we'll close the door of our Misty. And then I'm going to grab out 3 colors that we're going to use today. All right, those 3 colors are Over the Moon, which is like one of my go-tos. I mean, they're all my go-to. I say that, but like, I love all the colors. So I'm starting off, like I said, with that Over the Moon. And then we're going to bring in some Roar, and I'm just going to pounce out some of the color so that I've just got some of that color popping through because a pumpkin's going to have lots of variation. And then I'm going to bring in the Weeping Willow and just pounce it down over the stems and try my best to wipe away some of that. I got a little sloppy with that last one, so that shows through a little bit more than I had hoped it would, but I still like it. I think it looks good. And then we'll do the same thing here at the bottom. Now, I do apologize. The light is shining through. My new craft room has lights or windows on all 3 walls. And when I say all 3 walls, I mean basically it is 3 walls of light, of windows. And so sometimes I get some of that glare through, and I do apologize for that. But it's just the time of day that I think I'm filming right now. All right, again with the stems. And then we'll stamp those down. I think I did a better job that time. And then this time we're just going to, take a look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now we're going to fussy cut them all out. And yes, because they're pumpkins, I feel like they're pretty easy. There isn't a lot to go around. The stem might be the hardest part just on that middle pumpkin. Otherwise, I'm just leaving a nice white border around all of them. I'll have all those ready, and then I'm going to grab another panel of white cardstock. We're going to pull in our guillotine trimmer, and we're going to trim this down. I think I do about a little more than 2 inches by that 4¼ inches. So it will go from edge to edge on the shorter side. And I'll pull in a few of those pumpkins and kind of just place them on there and see how I like that and where I want them. Saving a pumpkin, maybe 2. I think I'm just going to save 1 for the inside of our card. And then I'm going to pull in one of those sentiments from the Happy Fall stamp set. And kind of figure out which one I want before I attach anything down. And this one is perfect. Sending pumpkin spice and everything nice. And we'll bring in the Weeping Willow again. And we'll stamp that down up in that upper left-hand corner. And then we'll start gluing everything down. So I'll start with this bigger pumpkin. And working with the liquid glue gives me a little bit of wiggle room, so that way I can kind of place some of those pumpkins behind some of the other ones because I'm moving fairly quickly. And obviously everything isn't drying right away. And I am going to leave some of those pumpkins kind of hanging off the side just a little bit. So then we'll just trim those down after we're done here. By doing this, it kind of gives the illusion that there's more going on outside of the card. It's visually appealing, if you ask me. And then we'll attach this down to the front of our card base. And then I decide it seems a little flat to me, even though it really kind of isn't. And I'm going to bring in some splatter. So I've got that weeping willow that I put down on my glass mat, sprayed a little water, and then just using a little paintbrush, we're going to splatter some of that all over that background. Adds a little bit of interest. And then we'll bring in our card base. I started with a white card base, but then I was like, wait a second, I had cut down some yellow to go with it. So that card base measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4. We'll glue this little pumpkin down on the inside, and then we can glue our panel down on the outside. Once that's on there, that's going to finish off the card. Super quick and easy card. And I love how it turned out. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And as always, I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.